Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Yes, guys. I hope everyone practiced the first application. Everyone practiced the first application. As of now, we are learning Spring Basics. Very few days, we will be working with XML-driven configurations. Okay, once we got fundamentals, we will be moving to annotation-driven configurations, 100% code-driven configurations, and lastly, we will launch Spring Boot. Once we launch Spring Boot, all concepts of Spring will be studied in Spring Boot angle. As I already said, Spring applications can be developed in XML-driven configurations, annotation-driven configuration, 100% code-driven configuration, and Spring Boot approach. So I'm preparing background to launch Spring Boot, guys. After teaching Spring Basics, I will launch Spring Boot. We will study everything of Spring, but mode of programming will be Spring Boot. Mode of programming will be Spring Boot. So nothing you are going to miss. Anyhow, to learn microservices, platform is Spring Boot only. Right, guys. So I designed this course as the combination of two courses. Earlier, people used to learn Spring separately, Spring Boot microservices separately. But I combined both courses into a single course so that you can save your time and money both. Yes, guys. So today I'm going to discuss about, before launching microservices, Spring REST will be discussed. Because microservices are built on the top of what web services. That's why Spring REST will be discussed, no doubt in that. Yeah. Constructor injection, boss. Yes. Yesterday we have seen the flow of all the things. Yeah, those are looking for array as part of this course, Spring Basic, Spring Boot. Spring Boot means all modules of Spring. All modules of Spring will be discussed in Spring Boot angle. In that list, we'll be having Spring Data JPA, Spring Batch, Spring Security, Spring MVC, okay, Spring Scheduling, many all modules, Spring AOP, lot of modules will be covered, Spring Mail, all the modules will be covered. There's no need of highlighting one by one. Please, those are looking for course content. I have uploaded course content in a FB group. Please collect from that. Okay, let me do that work. Again, people started asking what that is covered up, it is covered up. This is the URL where you can get everyday content. Okay, in future, Google Classroom also will be provided. Don't worry. Yes, guys. See course content of Spring Basics, Spring Boot microservices. You just download and open this PDF document. Entire course content will come. This is the URL. Yes. Naresh IT YouTube channel is having initial classes of this course. Okay, boss. Raghav, please use the above URL. You will find it. Okay. Now for classroom applications, as of now, we are using Git URL, boss. As of now, we are using git URL, and what is our git URL was Ntsbb. Yeah, this is the git URL was. Yeah, classroom applications will be there. Okay. Yes, boss. Constructor injection, boss. Yeah, listen, guys. Those who have completed formalities, the day link is changed. Okay, before 12 hours, you will get the link either as a mail or SMS. Don't worry. Till that time, you continue with the old link. Till that time, you would continue with the old link. In 1-2 days, link will change. Okay, those who have completed formalities, for them, link will come. There's no need of taking any tension. Fine. Yes, constructor injection, guys. If the IOC container, which is also called as Spring container, is using parameterized constructor of target bean class, for during instantiation and initialization. During instantiation and initialization, then it is called constructor injection. In this process, dependent class object will be assigned to target class object. Okay, guys. In XML driven configurations, we need to use construct-arg tag to enable the constructor injection. Construct-arg tag to enable the constructor injection. I hope you are understanding my statement, guys. Okay. We need to use construct-arg tag to enable the constructor injection. Property tag for setter injection, guys. Construct-arg tag, constructor injection. Super, boss. Now let us take same application, but we want to see that application performing data object injection to wish message generator by using constructor injection. What injection, guys? Constructor injection. So let's see that, guys. You can take the copy of the project, Control C, Control V only, nothing great. IOC pros 2. Here is my constructor injection, boss. Here is my constructor injection. Now tell me, guys, to perform setter injection, target class should have what? Setter method. Similarly, to perform constructor injection, target class should have what? Speak out. Parameterized constructor. Right now, during the instantiation and initialization of target class, how many dependent objects you want to inject? One. What is that? Date. So how many parameter constructor I have to take? Only one parameter constructor I have to take. Got it or not? Okay. Now, is there any need of zero param constructor and setter method, guys? No need. So can I comment that? Definitely. Now I'm commenting it. Yeah. So now let me change the format of the comment, guys. Yeah, I just want to change comment style because it is disturbing the code when I comment the things. Comments, enable block commenting is there. Enable block comment, just apply. Okay. Yeah, now see, Control Z. When I comment, multi-line comment will come and code structure will not be disturbed. Earlier, by having some star star kind of thing, code structure is disturbed, boss. Next, yeah, Alt plus Shift plus O, guys. Alt plus Shift plus S and O to get the parameterized constructor. It came any place we can place, not a issue, boss. Control S. Okay. Control S. Systrace. SOP with message, guys. Systrace will give SOP with message. If you are interested, you can change that message. One param constructor. One param constructor. CTRL plus Shift plus S comma O to generate parameterized constructor. To generate parameterized constructor. Systrace SOP with message with the default message. Okay, boss. Fine, we placed parameterized constructor ready, boss. But how to inform to? I need to inform to IOC container, na boss. That I am not interested in set injection. I am interested in what? Constructor injection. Very simple, guys. Constructor -arg. Listen, under bean tag, if you write constructor -arg tag one time, it looks for, okay, it looks for systrace is the shortcut key, guys. Okay, systrace is a shortcut key. After typing this, if you press Control plus space, then you will get SOP with a message. Please focus. Okay, guys. Now tell me here. Constructor-arg is equal to constructor-arg is equal to name of the parameter, date, ref is equal to dt. Same as property tag, but tag is constructor-arg tag. Now listen carefully, boss. Listen carefully. Suppose you have a 3-param constructor, then you have to write constructor-arg tag 3 times. If you have a 10-param constructor, then you have to write constructor-arg tag 10 times. If you have a 4-param constructor, then you have to write constructor-arg tag 4 times. So that means how many times constructor-arg tag is there? The IOC container looks for that n-param constructor to complete what? Bean instantiation and initialization. To complete bean instantiation and initialization. I hope you really enjoyed this point, guys. Come on. Because, see, boss, Construct arg tag name is equal to date, ref is equal to dt. Remaining everything is same, boss. Ditto means ditto. Okay, look at the client application. I'm not changing except change. I'm not at all changing. Okay, now listen. I have a 3 param constructor, but I have passed only 2 constructor arg tag. Tell me, third one will be taken as default value or exception will come? Definitely exception will come. Why, sir? Array, okay. When you have a 3 param constructor and if you pass only 2 arguments, definitely third one will be missing. So due to this, exception will come because it looks for 2 param constructor only, not there. When not there, exception will come. That's basic core Java concept, guys. When you have it construct arg tag only 2 times, okay, so it looks for 2 param constructor, but we don't have in our target class, we have only 3 param constructor. Definitely exception will come. Constructor injection test. Say next, guys. Say next. Say finish. Constructor injection test. Say next. Next, finish. Okay. Fine, boss. Now have a look now. Run on Java application. See, guys, object for target class is created by using 1 param constructor or not? 1 param constructor. Now tell me, it is performing constructor injection and setter injection. Constructor injection. I'll give its internals also, don't worry. Okay. Same as that one, I'll give its internals. So very simple, guys. By seeing property tag under bean tag, the IOC container becomes ready to perform setter injection. By seeing construct-arg tag under bean tag, the IOC container becomes ready for constructor injection. So that means in your mind, if you think it is not enough, you should inform to IOC container by writing appropriate tag, by giving one or other appropriate tag. Is that clear, guys? Okay. Right. I'll give so many questions related to that. What happens if both are enabled at a time? Everything will be answered. First of all, let me paste this application. Let me give internals related to this application. Shall we start? Okay. Yes. We will take multiple parameters. Please, this is introduction only. 4 parameter, 3 parameters also will come. Please. There is order of learning things in an incremental order. Please focus. In future, you will get multiple parameterized constructor having 4 param, 2 param, 10 params also we will study. This is just introduction of this. This is application context.xml, guys. Next, boss. As usually, client application, guys. Constructor injection test, guys. Constructor injection test. Okay. So now let us focus on flow of execution. But before telling the flow of execution, let me give the fact. The fact is, let me give the fact. New instance method of java.lang.class can create object only by using zero param constructor. It cannot create object by using parameterized constructor. Are you sure, sir? Okay. And moreover, from Java 9 onwards, that has been deprecated. That has been deprecated. Any moment they may remove from Java. You are not believing, just let's see. Class dot for name, some class, java dot util dot date dot. Okay. A new instance. See, we are getting deprecated strike through effect here or not? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Yes, boss. Fine. And moreover, this method is there only taking zero param constructor based class. Zero param constructor based instantiation it can do. Okay, sir. Then what about creating dynamic object by getting class at runtime by using parameterized constructor? For that purpose, we have new instance method in java.lang.reflect constructor class. One more new instance method is there. I hope you are understanding my point, guys. So now let me write this point, guys. Note the new instance method of java.lang.class. Okay, java.lang.class is capable of creating okay java class object only by using zero param constructor. Only by using zero param constructor. That means it cannot create the object using parameterized constructor. Okay. Moreover, it is deprecated from Java 9 onwards. So, as alternate, use okay, use new instance method of array it takes where arcs where arcs. Okay, new instance method of java.lang dot reflect dot constructor class. Class name itself constructor. Are you realizing this? Class name itself constructor. Okay, boss. Now mentally see. Let's see one by one, boss. Now let's see the flow, guys. Flow of execution. Flow of execution for factory dot get bean method call while working with constructor injection. Because remaining flow I am not giving, boss. Remaining flow same, boss, same as yesterday. So you want to see this line locates and holds Spring Bean configuration file. This line creates IOC container. Okay, loads XML file, checks well formed or not, valid or not. If not well formed, if not valid, come on. Okay, it throws exception. If well formed and valid, it prepares what? In memory metadata. Come on. And also returns XML bean factory object representing IOC container. That is same. But here story is different, guys. Object obj is equal to factory dot get bean of WMG. Factory dot get bean of WMG. Everyone can focus it, guys. It takes the bean ID, go to internal cache, checks, is there any object? Is there any object having key WMG? There are not there. Then it will go to in-memory metadata of XML file, Spring Bean configuration file and searches. Is there any Spring Bean having bean ID WMG? Yes, there. Yes, there. But what is that class? Wish message generator. What is the injection that is enabled? Constructor injection. Always remember, to create object using parameterized constructor, first of all, you have to keep that parameter ready. That means argument ready. It notices, okay, constructor hyphen argue tag is for one time. That means, okay, to create this object, we need one parameter constructor. That means we have to keep that one argument ready before creating wish message generator class object. That's why the thumb rule in constructor injection is, come on, guys. The thumb rule in constructor injection is first dependent class object, then target class object. First dependent, then target object will be created. Because by keeping dependent ready, it will try to create target class object. Are you listening my statement, guys? Come on. Okay, guys. In setter injection, first target, then dependent. In constructor injection, first dependent, then target. Are you listening my point? Super. Now concentrate, boss. So it notices what is there, constructor injection. How many parameters? One param, because constructor hyphen argue tag is there only for one time. Are you listening, boss? What is that? Date ref is equal to dt. Date ref is equal to dt. Okay. Date ref is equal to dt. Come on, guys. So now tell me what happens, guys. Okay. Takes the dt and observes. Takes the dt and observes. Guys, give me 2 minutes time. I'm getting call from company. Guys, yeah, everyone please come back. Yeah, ref dt. Again takes the bean ID dt, guys, and searches. Is there any object in the internal cache having key dt? Not there. Then comes to in-memory metadata of Spring Bean configuration file and searches. Is there any Spring Bean whose bean ID is dt? Yes, there. And searches. And observe no injections are configured. That's why happily loads the class and creates the object. Happily loads the class and creates the object using zero param constructor. Now uses this date class object as argument of one param constructor and creates wish message generator class object. Uses the date class object as what? One param constructor argument value of wish message generator class and creates wish message generator class object. Tell me, boss, in this here, while creating object of target class itself, injection is completed or not? Array in core Java also you might have seen this one, guys. Assigning one object to another object while creating another object as constructor argument itself. Come on, the same thing here also. Only the thing is you are not doing it, container is doing it. As usual, it will keep both objects in the internal cache and returns wish message generator class object reference back to what? Client application. Back to what? Client application. The regular story. Here also the regular story continues, boss. So flow of execution for factory.getBean method call while working with reflection API, while working with constructor injection. So shall I give one by one what happens, guys? Yeah. Yeah. Takes the bean ID, deblmg from factory get bean deblmg call and searches for the object availability having the key, come on, having the key wmg in the internal cache of IOC container. Since not available, come on, guys. It goes to in-memory metadata of Spring Bean configuration file and searches for the Spring Bean class configuration whose bean ID is deblmg, and it finds come on, com.nt.beans dot wish message generator with constructor injection configuration. Okay, using one param constructor because tell me, constructor arg tag is placed for one time under bean tag. Notices bean class is there but enabled with that, guys, constructor inject b equal to dt. Ref is equal to dt from constructor arg name is equal to date, ref is equal to dt tag and to search in internal cache, to search in internal cache of IOC container for the availability of object. Since not available, come on, since not available, so it goes to same thing, in memory metadata of Spring Bean configuration file, and also searches for Spring Bean configuration whose bean ID is DT, and finds, okay, and finds, what is this? Java.util.date class with no injection. So load send instantiate, java.util.date class object using zero param constructor as shown below. Tell me guys what it will do. Class C is equal to class dot for name java.util.date, loads the class. Happily it loads the class, guys. After that, what next, boss? Java.util.date dt is equal to java.util.date new instance of, creates the object. Yes, guys. I think with this, what is ready, guys? Simply what is ready? Date class object is ready or not there? With what name? DT as the object name. Date class object. Hey, same thing, boss, but order is different. Okay. System date. Here, what is there? System date and time. I hope you are comfortable up to this. First target class object is not created. Please respond. Only first dependent class object is created. Are you observing it? Thumb rule you remember, guys. In case of setter injection, first target class object, then dependent class object. Then dependent object will be assigned to target class object. In case of constructor injection, first dependent object, and that will be used in the creation of target object. Which is faster, guys? Constructor injection or setter injection? Use your common sense and tell me which is faster. Constructor injection is faster. Why? While creating target class object itself, dependent class object is assigned, right? In case of setter injection, first target object, then dependent object, later dependent will be assigned to target, right? In case of constructor injection, what happens? First dependent, while creating what? Target itself, dependent is assigned to target. There is no separate process of assigning what? Dependent to target. While creating target itself, target class object itself, dependent is assigned, right? Yes, boss. Now tell me here B. C. Now listen. Okay. Don't forget, it has created date class object with respect to constructor-arg tag, guys. So that's why IOC container now uses reflection API, earlier also reflection API, to create the target class object wish message generator using one param constructor as shown below. Using one param constructor as shown below, having the already created date class object as the constructor argument value. Now listen what it will do. Loads the class. Class C1 is equal to class dot for name. Class C1 is equal to class dot for name. Com dot nt dot beans dot wish message generator loads the class as usually loads the class. Okay guys, now it will get the list of constructors guys. Please focus. This is a new code. Class name itself constructor. Array, you accepted class as object now. There is a predefined class called object. There's a predefined class called class. Now accept one more class. Okay, class name itself constructor, which represent one constructor. Each object of constructor class represents one constructor. Come on. If 20 constructors are 20 objects of constructor class, 30 constructors are 30 objects of constructor class. Constructor class object array means what? Each element is constructor class object representing one constructor of Java class. Constructor CONS array is equal to C1 dot get declared constructors. Constructor CONS array is equal to C1 dot get declared constructors. So right now wish message generator is having how many constructors, boss? Only one constructor, that is parameter. So this array will give me how many elements, boss? Only one element. Okay. This is my CONS array, guys. CONS array, guys. Here is my object. One object will be there. What is that object? Constructor object. This is my 0th element. Constructor object. This is my 0th element. Constructor CONS array is equal to C1 dot get declared constructors. Gives me all the constructors that are there in the wish message generator class, guys. This is loads the class, guys. This gives me all the constructor that are there in the this one. Array, int array, all elements are integer values, na? Float array, all elements are float values, na? String array, all elements are string class objects. Okay, student object array, all elements are student class objects. Employee object array, all elements are employee class objects. Are you listening my statement, guys? Okay. Gives constructor class object array representing all the constructors. Constructors of the class. Representing all the constructors of the class. Yes, guys. Right now, only one constructor is there, one element is there. If two constructors are there, two elements. If three constructors are there, three elements. So this represents one param constructor as of now or not? Represents one param constructor. One param constructor of which says generator class. Done, guys. Now come back. CONS array of 0 dot new instance. Here also one new instance method is there, but this method takes arguments. What is that? DT. Tell me, guys, this method uses one param because CONS of 0 representing one param constructor. That's why this new instance method uses what? One param constructor having date class object as argument and creates wish message generator class object. So that's why, what is this? Wish message generator WMG is equal to wish message generator of this. Now, tell me what happened. CONF of 0 represents what, guys? One param constructor. New instance method takes a date class object as argument value. Date class object as what? Argument value. How class object call constructor class? Array class object is not calling ra babu. CONS of 0 is representing one param constructor. Rikesh, you are not focusing. Ritesh, focus. CNS of 0 is not class object, is what? Yes, all these things are happening inside the container. You are not going to do. These are internals that are taking place inside the container. Okay, boss. Tell me what this method is doing. Uses one param constructor of wish message generator class having date class object as the argument value. Date class object as the argument value. Okay, argument value. For instantiation and initialization. Array, this is nothing but construct injection, boss. Nothing but constructor injection. Right. We are not going to write this code, guys. Container is having internal code. Once again, I am telling object is not created using new operator. Object is created using what? Object is created using what? Reflection API new instance method. Why, sir? Why new operator is not used here? Tell me, all these classes are coming to container at compile time or runtime or runtime. IOC container itself created what time? Runtime. The way it is reading XML file content, creating in-memory data is happening at what time? Runtime. Factory.getBean method with the WMG is called at what time, guys? Runtime. Come on. Everything is happening at what time, boss? Runtime only. Everything is taking place at what time, boss? Runtime only. So, do you think new operator is capable of creating object for class that is coming to application dynamically at runtime, boss? If class name is coming to Java application dynamically at runtime, do you think new operator can create object? Seriously not. Seriously not, right? Okay. Tell me here. Wish message generator object WMG having date property. Having date property. Yes, boss. And this date property is linked with what? This date property is linked with date class object. Linked with date class object. I hope you convinced it, boss. Right. Okay. Now tell me next one. Keeps both objects in the internal cache of IOC container for reusability, having bean IDs as the keys and bean class object references as the values. Bean class object references as the values. This is my internal cache of IOC container, guys. Okay, guys. Internal cache of IOC container, boss. Here, what is that? Keys, guys, bean IDs, values, guys, bean class object references. What is the bean ID? WMG. Generator class object reference. What is the another bean ID, guys? DT. Here is what? Java.util.date class object reference. Java.util.date class object reference. I think you enjoyed this point, guys. Like many objects will be there. E factory.getBean method returns wish message generator class object reference back to client application. I think you thoroughly enjoyed some points here. Tell me, yesterday it was new. Today it has become old or not? Only new thing in today's class is it is getting constructors first, access to constructors. On that, it is calling new instance method. Sir, here also it can use like that. No, not required, boss. Here, no need of working with parameterized constructor. That's why it has used new instance method of java.lang.class. Okay, but here parameterized constructors are there. There is a chance of having multiple parameterized constructors. That's why what it has done, first it got access to all the constructors of the target class, and it has used what? One param constructor to create the object of target class. In that process, it has passed a dependent class object as the argument value. In that process, it has passed what? Dependent class object as the argument value. I think you enjoyed, guys. Please clarify your doubts. All clear? If all clear, everyone please type clear message in the chat box so that I can move to next discussion. Yes. So don't worry about how to work with multiple parameterized constructor. All these things we will discuss. Just try to understand fundamentals first. Okay. Shiva, that should match with param name. That should match with param name, Shiva. Okay, guys. If any problem in object creation, whole process will fail. Whole process will fail, guys. Okay. Now tell me, someone is asking me to repeat the flow again. This line, anything new, guys? This line, anything new? Locates and holds Spring Bean configuration file. What about this line? This is new one, right? Creates IOC container, loads XML file, checks well formed or not, valid or not, creates in-memory metadata of Spring Bean configuration file, and returns what? XML Bean Factory object representing that. Okay, guys. Next. Factory.getBean.wmg. Factory. See, I am noticing people missing classes. Please come regularly. That is your responsibility. Please come regularly. Remaining everything else, leave it to me. Fine, boss. Yes, guys. Right. So as of now, this is deprecated, guys. Deprecate means still works, but replacement is there. Better to go for replacement. Okay. In a moment, once all these discussions are over, I will provide the replacement. That is default listable bean factory. Default listable bean factory. Are you understanding my point? Yes. Yeah, the people who joined today, I will give some videos at the end. I'll give some videos at the end. Please concentrate. Next one, when factory.getBean method is called, what happens, guys? All these operations takes place. I hope everyone clear in this one. Yes, boss. Right. Then what is this? We got, because of factory.getBean WMG, all these operation takes place. You will get wish message generator class object reference injected with what? Date class object reference. So typecasting to call direct methods of target class, guys. Okay, we are calling business method, we got the result and we are displaying the result. At the end of the main method, all objects will be destroyed, including container. When container object is destroyed, okay, in memory metadata will be vanished, IOC internal cache will be vanished, everything will be vanished. So that means flow starts with main method, ends with main method. So IOC container is not a permanent container, just object. What lifetime is there for local object, same lifetime will be there for container. Come on, within the main method, it is managing Spring Bean life cycle. Okay, once main method execution is over, every local object has to be destroyed. Though factory is representing container, after all, it's a local object, it also will be destroyed. Array, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Oh, this will stay for long time permanently. No, no, no. First of all these are objects. All these are objects. Hmm. Now let's go for guys. Let me give some observations. Important points. In setter injection, the IOC container first creates target class object, then creates dependent class object and assigns dependent class object to target class object by calling setter method. By calling setter method on target class object. In constructor injection, the IOC container first creates dependent class object, then creates target class object using parameterized constructor of target class having dependent class object as the constructor argument value. Yes, boss. If we place constructor given arg tag for n times under bean tag, come on, then the IOC container looks for n-param constructor to perform constructor injection. If not available, n-param constructor. If not available, then it throws exception. If not available, then it throws exception. Right, boss. Okay, now the one question, guys. If I enable constructor injection and setter injection on same property, then what happens? Tell me, guys, whose injection values will be taken as the final values, guys? Question. If we enable, yes, see, I am using XML Bean Factory to create Bean Factory container. This is the last day. Tomorrow onwards, I will give another class to create the same container. Okay, that's easy to create, and to tell that is deprecated, I have used in 1-2 applications. Fine. But tomorrow onwards, whatever new applications we develop, there we will try to use a new container, new class to create the container. Okay. If we enable both setter injection and constructor injection on the same property of Spring Bean class, then which values will be assigned as the final values, then which values will be assigned as the final values, use your common sense and logical thinking and tell me. First constructor executes, then second setter method executes. First constructor executes, setter method executes. First constructor, use common sense. While creating object constructor, once object is ready, setter method, right? Okay. So whatever value assigned to property through constructor injection will be overridden by setter method injected value or not? Will be overridden by setter injection value or not? Speak out, my dear boss. Will be overridden by setter injection values or not? Array, first property A is there. Constructor injection has assigned 10 while creating target class object. So setter injection has come and assigned 20. Now tell me what is the final value, boss? What is the final value? 20 only, na? What is the final value? 10 or 20? Yeah? Which values will be assigned as the final value? 20 will be the final value. Okay, but how do you demonstrate, sir? How do you enable it, sir? Because if you write like this, I cannot really feel it. Ref is equal to dt. Sir, it is injecting same date class object. This is also injecting date class object. How can you prove that? Which is overridden by which one? So that means I have to think about injecting two different values, right? Okay. Now listen, what I do is I'll try to configure date class as another Spring Bean with a different bean ID. Yeah, in one Spring Bean configuration file, same class can be configured as multiple Spring Beans having different bean IDs. Now I'm configuring date class as another Spring Bean, java.util.date. Sir, that's fine. Java.util.date. Come on, guys. Java.util.date, DT1. But I know that in date class also lot of setter methods are there. I think I can do setter injection on date class itself. Speak out, my dears. I think I can do setter injection on date class itself. You are not believing me. 1 minute. Let me show lot of predefined setter methods that are there in the date class. Java.util.date docs. Java.util.date class docs. Look at the methods, guys. Look at the methods. Okay. Setter methods, you look at. Setter method. Set time, set year, set month, set minutes, set hours. We have setter methods or not? Are to perform setter injection, setter methods are inefficient or not? Whether it is predefined or user defined or who bothered? Setter methods are there or not there? That we bother, right? Okay. Now look at this. Property name, year, value is equal to, sir, why value? Why not ref? Array, if the property is a simple type, simple means string, int, long, this kind of simple type. Array, this is, year is what type? Int type. Set year is what type, guys? Int, come on, primitive data type. Including string also we can use value. If property type is object type or reference type, go for ref to inject the object. If property type is simple type or string type, then use value to inject the value. Okay, this is nice, sir. Mayur Kamma, you check your side only. Am I audible, guys? Mr. Mayur, problem is your side. You have to correct yourself. All are saying I am audible to them. Property name year. Come on, guys. Value is equal to. One problem is there. I want to assign 2010. 2010 means you cannot directly write 2010 like this. You cannot directly write 2010 like that, boss. Unfortunately, you have to write 110 only. Why, sir? Anything you place, it will be added to 1900. That is some like that only that method is designed. Anything you add, it internally adds 1900. Adds 1900 internally. This is the behavior of the setter method that is there in the date class. If you like, continue. Otherwise, leave it. Property name date. Array, this is simple integer date, guys. Okay, property name. Value is equal to some 0 to 30. Any number you can give. 20th date I have given. Property name month 0 to 11. Anything you can give. Some 4th I have given. 4th means indirectly 5. Zero to 30. Here 0 to 11. Not 1 to 12. 0 to 11. Now listen, two more things we learned here. One is number one Java class can be configured as multiple Spring Beans with the different bean IDs. Point number one. Number two, bean IDs in Spring container should be unique. Two Spring Bean classes cannot have same bean ID. That's the point number two. Point number three, if the property type is object type or reference type, then use ref attribute to inject another bean class object to that property. If the property type is, come on, primitive data type or wrapper data type or string, primitive data type or wrapper data type or string, then use value attribute to assign the simple value to that property. To assign the simple value to that property. Come on, guys. Yes. Okay, now you observe. Using setter injection DT1, Sancharya, this is internal logic. Anything you give, it will add 1900. Anything you add, it is 19. This is the internal logic of date class. They have designed like that. You cannot question the logics of predefined methods. Sachin Surya, please accept it. And these are the methods, these are the properties or methods that are taking date 0 to 30. Month, they have designed it. That's the somewhat some wrong designing is there. That's the reason most of the methods in date class are deprecated. Okay, deprecated or not, that is a secondary. That's the reason they have come up with calendar class, local date and time classes. Come on. In future, we will use them also. For simplification, I'm just taking date class. If I use calendar class, local date class, so many people may not recognize. That's the reason I'm using date class, because everyone is aware of it. But it's not like that forever we use date class. We will use local date time class. We will use calendar class in future. But I have to take those classes that everyone recognizes easily. Yes, boss. Now tell me, setter injection is injecting DT1. That means 2010 date. Constructor injection DT, system date. Constructor injection is giving system date. Tell me, guys, what will happen? Exception will come. Why? Array setter injection looks to create object using zero param constructor. Number one. And moreover, setter injection needs a setter method. Setter injection needs a setter method. Don't forget that. Setter injection needs a setter method. Sir, how to know which is injected? Wait a minute. How to know what is injected in the business method? Okay, I will simply say date. I'll try to this. Okay, guys. Constructor injection. See, guys, what is injected here? 2010 came. 2010 came means what? Setter injection is dominating constructor injection or not? Setter injection is dominating constructor injection or not? Moreover, see order of execution. First constructor, then setter method. So constructor also injecting date class object, but that is system date. Set date is injecting another date class object having 2010 year. So second one will replace the first one or not? Second one will replace the first one or not? I hope you convinced with me. Very tricky question in the interview room, guys. If my students take interview, they will definitely ask this question. Yes. Since Karthik KK, Raja is not the result. Raja is the wish message. Raja is the wish message, my dear. Because our basic aim of the application is printing the wish message only. Okay. Right. Please focus. Since setter method executes, after constructor execution. So the setter injection value will be injected by overriding the value injected by the constructor. That means setter injection value will remain as the final value to the bean property. Will remain as the final value to the bean property. Copy these guys, say paste. Say paste. Here is the example and let me highlight this section. Especially this section. Sir, you place these property tags in any order. You place this property tag or constructor tag any order. By seeing constructor-arg tag, target object will be first created using parameterized constructor. On that object, setter method will be called later, so that the value injected by setter injection will override the value injected by constructor. Okay. Here also, since object creation is happening through constructor injection, first dependent, then target. You want to know the order? First DT object, guys. First DT object. Having DT, wish message generator class object is created. That constructor injection is completed. Then to complete DT1, setter injection using DT1 object will be created. And the DT1 will be injecting, okay, to the wish message generator. In that process, DT object will be replaced by DT1 in the wish message generator. So order of object creation, first DT, then wish message generator, then date class DT1, then DT1. Okay, guys. If both means DT means same DT will be injected twice, but you cannot feel the difference. Sachin Surya, use your common sense. Initial value A is equal to 10. Last value also A is equal to 10. 10 is assigned twice. First 10, first 10, first 10. Okay, second 10 will be replacing first 10. But can you feel it? Can you feel it, guys? You cannot feel it. That's the reason I am not taking same thing. Both. Okay, guys. Yeah, total 3 objects will be created and all 3 objects will be stored in the internal cache. All fundamentals are same, guys. All fundamentals are same. Order of creating objects. Okay, boss. DT. DT. Next, WMG. Next, DT1. DT, WMG. Next, DT1. So now let me add some observations here. Observation number 1. Okay, we can configure same Java class as multiple Spring Beans having different bean IDs. Bean IDs like DT1, DT1 for java.util.date. Next, all Spring Beans in Spring Bean configuration file must have unique bean IDs. What bean IDs, guys? Unique bean IDs. Otherwise, exception will be raised. Otherwise, exception will be raised. Next. Next. If the bean property type is object or reference type, maybe object or reference type, then use ref attribute of property or constructor hyphen arg tag property of oblique constructor hyphen arg tag to assign dependent class object to target class object. 1 minute to assign to assign given bean ID based Spring Bean class object to Spring Bean class object to bean property, target class bean property. I think everyone understood this line. If the property type is object or reference type, then use ref attribute of property of constructor hyphen arg tag to okay to assign to inject the given bean ID based Spring Bean class object to target bean class property. Yes, what is the one I have to highlight? Ref attribute I have to highlight. Yes, what is this one? Object or reference type. Okay. Copy these guys, paste. If the property type is simple wrapper or string data type, then use value attribute of property of constructor arg tag to inject the given value to target bean class property. See, you only observe, boss. There's a lot of sense in this. Here expecting object a value a. Here expecting value a object a. Here is a int type property. Expects what? Value. That's why value. Here month and date are the simple properties. Expecting value a object a. Value. That's why value property. Now tell me. Here date. This date is different. This date is different. This is part of date class. This is part of wish message generator class. Unfortunately, names are matching. Don't worry. Here, what is the property? Date. What is the type? Java.util.date. It expects value or object. It expects value or object. Object. Object can be referred with what? Reference variable. Object can be referred with what? Reference variable. Tell me, referred with DT. That means I want to inject that object whose reference variable name is DT. Bean ID internally becomes reference variable name na boss. Bean ID internal becomes what? Reference variable or not? See boss. To the date property whose type is java.util.date. I want to inject that bean class object that is referred with bean ID dt. That is referred with bean ID dt. Are you listening my statement, guys? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Yes. Sir, which injection is faster? Constructor injection is faster than setter injection. Why, sir? Constructor injection assigns dependent to target during the target creation process itself, target instantiation process itself. Come on, guys. Target instantiation process itself, completion. It completes the injection process. Which one is better? That depends on the situation. Rudra Gowda, that I will explain later. Which is suitable in which situation, I will talk later. Both are good. Everyone is having its own importance. Sanjay, if dependent object creation is having problem, it will also affect the target class object creation. Especially in the constructor injection. Without dependent, can we complete target creation? No. In fact, since both works are done by container, if dependent is having problem, target object also will be failed. Will also be failed to create. Come on, guys. I think your maturity is increasing towards dependency injection. This is very fundamentals, guys. This is to habituate with Spring. Whatever examples I have given so far, this is to habituate with Spring. Still, I have not discussed at real-time Spring. This is POC, proof of concept, to know what is what. What is Spring Bean? What is Spring Bean configuration file? What is container? But real-time Spring still I have not launched. I'm just explaining what is what. Fundamentals I have given. It's like writing first core Java program. Sabita madam, please refer yesterday's class once to get the flow of setter injection. Suri Kumar, in future we will see collection injection. In setter injection also, first object creation happens with the help of constructor only. That is zero param constructor. In setter injection, everywhere in setter injection, objects will be created using zero param constructor. And in constructor injection, objects will be created using parameterized constructor. You will get those points in future. Yatish Chandra, okay, please go through the poster, whatever eligibility criteria is there. Okay, go for same eligibility criteria. Okay, if you are still want to take a chance, apply it. Okay, if you are eligible, they will allow you. If they are not eligible, they will not shortlist your entry. They will not shortlist your entry. There's no wrong of taking chance. Okay, let me wind up by giving the two statements, guys. Constructor injection is a bit faster than setter injection because the constructor injection takes place during the object creation of target class itself. Okay, whereas the setter injection takes place after target class object creation. Yes, next one. If Spring Bean is configured only with setter injection or with no injection, only with setter injection or with no injection, then the IOC container creates Spring Bean class object using zero param constructor. If Spring Bean is configured by enabling constructor injection, at least on one property. Okay, then the IOC container creates Spring Bean class object using parameterized constructor. I think Surya Kumar, it is not object creation, Ra Babu. It's the way dependent is assigned to target. I think Surya Kumar, you have to show a bit extra maturity of core Java. People are looking at number of objects. Huh? People should look at the way dependent is assigned to target. Huh? Please, guys, try to show some maturity. Okay. Yogaraj Jaiswal, first it looks for target bean class availability. In that process only, it will also check for property tag is there, a construct-arg tag is there. If property tag is there, first target class object, then dependent class object. Assigns dependent object to target. Come on, guys. If construct-arg tag is there, if construct-arg tag is there, come on. First, it will create dependent object, and using that object, it will create target class object. So that means it not only search for Spring Bean availability, boss, it also search for what injection is enabled on that bean. Based on that, it will take the decision of what. First, target should be created, or dependent should be created. Harish, in coming classes, I will explain in which situation constructor injection, in which situation setter injection should be taken. Please, again, I'm telling, by locating target class, it won't create target class object. It also verifies which mode injection is enabled on that class. Setter mode, no mode. Target class object is created immediately. Constructor mode. So target class object will not be created first. First, it will try to create dependent object. Using that object, it will try to create the target object. I hope these points are registered, guys. Yes, where to use setter injection, where to use constructor injection will be covered in the coming classes. Yes. So tomorrow onwards, I am going to take up strategy design pattern, guys. Thank you. Jagadish, depends on the situation, both injections are preferred. Just now I said in coming classes, I am going to address where to use setter injection, where to use constructor injection. Right. Gaffer Sheikh, new instance method is deprecated, but still IOC container is internally using it. Okay, in coming version, they may change it. Okay, guys. Karthik KK, yeah, session is over from my side. Karthik KK, I have given Facebook URL. There everyday notes is available. In future, Google Classroom also will be provided. Okay, guys. Raghav, you please communicate with admin with WhatsApp messages. Okay, he will definitely reply. Because since so many students are there, he is not able to take the calls, but use WhatsApp messages. Binit Singh, if you write constructor-arg tag 10 times, using one 10 param constructor, only one object will be created. Arun Kumar, with core Java, you can learn Spring, but you have to do Servlet JSP parallelly in some other batch. Shukumar, videos are there in the Nail Shetty YouTube channel. You can go for it. Okay. The people who joined lately, I'll give 2 links. Please follow them. Link 1, these are the initial class videos. These are the initial class videos we are having, boss. Okay. Say paste. Okay. Yeah, Hibernate basics will be covered, but complete Hibernate knowledge you have to learn separately. Okay. Yeah, there we can collect the videos, guys. Harish, this is only POC concept. We will in real time we will be using to assign DAO to service to kind of thing. Right, boss? Yeah, this is the link one, and I will give another link also, boss. Go to search Spring by Natras. Advanced Java batch new date. April 5th, boss. April 5th, 4 p.m. Advanced Java new batch, April 5th, 4 p.m. Yes. Please, I have given two links, guys. The people who missed initial classes, they can watch them. They can watch the videos from there. Yeah, Sanket Keki, when I start next batch, you can attend initial classes or you can watch videos to get the backup. You can watch videos to get the backup, guys. Thank you. Have a nice time.